Hello everybody, it's Andrew. I wanted to dye up some yarn, try something out, kind of just play around. I had a lot of fun on the live the other night, so I decided to get a shot, see if I can get a shot at dyeing something up myself. So I got some sock weight yarn here. We had it soaking. Yep.
Okay, I have something very weird in regards to talking.
Alright. So I got some sock weight yarn. It's on low heat. Down low heat right there. I'm wearing knee gloves. So I have an idea that I wanted to play around with, and I want to have play with the tonal kind of stuff that we were doing with on the live, where we had some yellow. So I mixed in like another color to get like some action going on. So what my idea was is blue, and then tone shift it to a greenish blue, so a cyan or an aquamarine kind of thing, and then tone shift it also to red, so you get some purples in there and get this really cool look. And that's my hope. I mean, we'll see how it turns out, but that's my hope. So I'm going to do a blue base to kind of start this off. I don't know exactly. There's a bunch of stuff already made up. I got free reign of Thryss's dyes, so I am going to test a few things here real quick, and we're gonna see what we like and see what we're gonna do. I'm gonna start with a blue. This is one of the more blues from just looking at the bottle. That is a great base in my opinion. It is light enough to where I can tone shift on top of it. I can add more for darker, or I can add a little bit of black if I wanted it darker than that in any places. So I'm actually going to go ahead and get started on the blue real quick, and then we're going to look at the other colors while that's starting to soak in. So I'm just going to push down the yarn, put some in the water here, and get this in here pretty heavy on the whole thing pretty much. Stuck there. I'm okay with some areas being a little bit darker than others, and we're going to go back through and maybe we'll play a little bit with the lighter areas, getting a little bit, maybe a little bit of hint of red or a little bit of hint of green as opposed to just the mix of the two. I'm going to see how this evens out when I do it. So just a nice light even coat here. And if anybody's interested in this yarn, just reach out to Thryss. I'm sure she's going to be happy enough to get rid of it. I get to play around with whatever I want, so she doesn't necessarily like sock weight, so this is probably going to be up for dibs if anybody wants it. So just let her know. So already, even like doing this is kind of pretty. This could almost be like a sky kind of pattern, like a little bit of cloudy kind of stuff. It's a little bit of white. Kind of nice as it is, but we're gonna go ahead and deepen this up a little bit. I don't want any white showing through. I want a little bit of lighter, but not a lot of white. All right, and just kind of tuck it down a little bit. And just a little bit coming through here. A little bit of darker spots. Like I said, I want a little bit of variegation on the colors. So like I'm okay with some of it being a little darker than the rest. I don't necessarily want a ton of white, but I do want light. Looks on camera too. See if you can see it. Let me hit the light off. Adjust, and then hit the light back on.
Enter the kitchen.
Oh yeah, you're allowed to enter the kitchen.
I was about to say I can't see anyway, so it's not really spoiling the surprise.
I'm not necessarily surprising you with it. I just want to play around with it. So it's not necessarily a surprise to you. It's a surprise. I just felt like dubbing.
It gets in your blood. Sometimes
I was telling everybody because of the live, and we were, helping like tone shift some of that browns and stuff. I just really got the idea that I really wanted to try out this. So
I get that way. I just want to go and do something creative. Just start slapping dye on yarn, and I kind of fixate on it and can't think of anything else. Is that what that is?
Kind of.
Yeah.
let that set, and we're gonna just test some of these other colors we got over here. So again, you got that blue right here that we got laid down. You can see how it turned out versus the paper towel.
Was there extreme blue?
Pretty close. It's kind of more sky bluey, so I don't know if that is the extreme. It probably is. It might be a lighter stock solution of it.
You're right on the mic.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know what side the mic's on. I'm very loud, by the way.
You're using a front facing.
Yes, I am. So I can see what I'm doing pretty easy right here. All right, so we're gonna test some colors here. All right, that is gonna be orange. I want to do red, not orange. If I do orange on blue, orange is a little bit of red, a little bit of yellow. You mix in blue, and you're gonna start getting kind of brown, and I don't want brown. So we're gonna try this other one. This is it. I know. And then this one is what I want. This is red, so that's gonna give me more of a purple with that blue.
What you're playing with that blue is baby blue eyes.
Baby blue eyes. Okay, and what is this one right here?
That is crimson.
Crimson, and then that was a coral something or other?
That's salmon.
Salmon that looks kind of orangey to me, but that's fine.
That's watered down fluorescent.
Gotcha.
Safety orange.
Alright, so that's going to be the one I'm going to do, and then we're going to check out the greens.
I'm going to leave, otherwise I'm going to start micromanaging.
That is kind of what I want to get to. It's there as a crutch if I need to.
Oh, no.
You can micromanage if you want. You can watch. Maybe you'll learn something.
Oh, don't you throw the gauntlet down, little boy.
Oh, we're gonna throw the gauntlet down. And this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a green. This might be a little bit deep for me, but I'm gonna be very, very light-handed with it to do it. So let's go ahead. I let this set for a little bit already. It looks like let me get something light colored in here so we can see. This has dye all over from the live, but the base there is fine. You can see that I do this just for color contrast, so I can see. You can kind of do it on the sides too. See if there's any blue left in the water. There's a little bit of blue left in the water that hasn't taken to the yarn. I want to have most of it in there so that the blue is even. I don't want the green to get in there where the blue hasn't really been in there yet. So now we're gonna go ahead. Do you know what this green is?
Is it light?
It is green.
Like dark green?
Like primary color green. Not super dark, not super light. But primary color green. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead, and I want it on the lighter sections. The purple's gonna be kind of a darker color anyway, so I'm okay with that being in the darker sections of blue. It'll be able to fight with it more.
Which one?
It's this one right here, and it's this one right here.
I just need the bottle. Spearmint green.
That is spearmint. Okay, it is marked that.
Well, it's not straight spearmint. It's my own mix. I have spearmint with a little bit of something else. I don't know what's in it.
Okay, just
When I
spotted
get
that
to
up a
the
little
ends
bit.
of bottles, oftentimes I'll mix the dredges of both together if they're coordinating in some sort of way, and then create other colors and stuff.
Okay, so we're gonna kind of get those two corners. I want to keep some blue in here, so I'm gonna try to keep some of the section in the center here good. But I am going to overdo some of the blue while the screen's setting, just because I want to make sure I keep that as a mix. I don't want the green to be too powerful and not to like dye over necessarily. I do want it to try to mix with it. So I'm just gonna make sure I keep enough blue in here with that green. So that it kind of mixes a little bit. I'm used to additive color mixing too, so I might have taken a little bit of a weird approach to this. Subtractive might just make this be more green than blue. Because in light, when you add blue and green, it makes a really bright cyan. And I'm really used to doing like lights and stuff like that. So this is going to be like a little bit darker, a little bit differently, but yeah, you can see down here. This right here is like exactly what I'm looking for. This is still a little bit too green from what I'm looking for. I might have to use that, my little pinch hitter. This is perfect right here. And we'll see when this green sits in what it's going to look like. Let's go to that red. And we're going to throw some red here in this darker spot right here. And I'm going to do some up here in the top corner as well. And again, I'll probably have to add in a little bit of blue just to make sure that it takes the way I want it to. Because again, red is very, very heavy of a color. And we'll see. Pop there. pop it here because this is a little lighter. I do want to see, I mean, this is all about having fun and experimenting, so I just want to see kind of how it tones with different tones to it. I do like the way the blue is. I might actually bring this all the way over here. I'm okay if there's a little bit of a darker section when the green and the red meets. But when you have blue, green, and red meet, it's going to be a little bit of a weird section. It might get brown, so I want to not be too crazy about it. All right, and now I'm just going to fill in a little bit of blue. So there might be some dark purple in there. There's definitely going to be some lighter purple. And it's going to look kind of like it's breaking too, because it basically is. I mean, we're taking colors and we're mixing it up on the spot. So not all of them going the same way. So it is kind of like forcing a break in a way. It's basically the opposite process of breaking. And we're combining and making it kind of look a little bit broken. This is almost like a red wine, like a Merlot color up here. It's pretty. I really like it. I do like the purple here. This is kind of the purple I was envisioning, but there is like these pops of that more wine color, which is very, very nice. Even here in these lighter sections are kind of getting that too. And it's really, really going to be nice when you look at it, that you're going to have a lot of variegation right there. I am probably going to check her stash and see if there's something with a little bit of a dark blue here, to have a little bit of the same thing here in the center. I really want to play around with getting a lot of these tonals. And I don't really have any color mixing here in the middle. I do want to keep them pretty separated as far as that goes. Probably could have done a strip at the top and a strip at the bottom, but I like kind of mixing it up. So a little bit of red comes over to this hank, a little bit of green comes over to this hank, so it's not entirely a stripe. Got some black. So I'm going to chest two more real quick. I'm going to do this guy right here. This looks like a brown or a black. That's definitely black. And then we're going to try this other one right here. Just to see, this also looks like it's a black. It's probably just for a smaller one. That one's actually more of a true black. This one has more like purple undertones. This is maybe gray. The gray is what I'm going to go with. I'm going to put some gray here in the middle, and I'm going to put a little bit more blue as well. I'm just going to kind of darken this up a little bit. Just really, really light. Just a couple drops. Very, very light here, guys. And this is just going to gray it out, I think. Again, I'm not the color goddess. I am just kind of playing one on TV today. Some of this dark. Ooh, I could probably put some of here in the green. Just kind of darken up some of that green. I'm okay with it being green, but maybe if it was a darker green and not so green, that would look nice. Actually, it does. That actually was a good idea. So look at that. Look at that color green now. That is more, I want kind of more watery colors, you know? Kind of a little bit of everything. We'll try a little bit here because we're experimenting. I'm not looking for anything perfection. I just kind of want to see what happens. So a little bit of everything's fine. And look at that. That sharpened that up quite a bit. I actually like that color. I might put a little bit more in here. We'll just darken it. We'll just saturate everything up just a little bit. Just get a little bit of black just to saturate it up. Get some here in the corner. Maybe see how that looks with a little bit of saturation over here. I'm gonna let that heat. I will say, I know from Thryss dyeing that black does take a little while to set, so we're gonna let that sit for a little bit too. I'm really happy with some of this. I'm gonna put a little bit more green at the top. I'm thinking I'm gonna want it to be more solid than just having like a little chunk of it. I think that we're gonna want, if someone wants to use this, you're gonna want more color than just a little pop of green. We're gonna have it be a little bit bigger. The purples are much bigger than the greens are. So I'm just gonna do this up here. Just gonna keep it up here though. We're gonna maybe just a little bit of that blue back. I'm not gonna use that cheap blue yet. We're gonna be basically breaking these colors, or breaking into these colors, not breaking out of these colors. And I actually don't have to be careful with this blue because this blue can go anywhere. It's the purple and the green that I really don't want. So I can kind of not be so careful with it. I don't know why I'm being so careful with it. So I'm just gonna do that real quick. We're gonna let that side sit. I'm a fiddler too, if you guys haven't noticed that I'm fiddling a little bit with this. I'm gonna do a little bit of that cheap blue down here because I have it out. I want to see what happens with it. I'm gonna just see, because this is kind of like the color I was originally going for, but maybe mixed with that green, it's gonna give you a little bit different of a color. It's still gonna look pretty good. So we're gonna do that. And then to finish my fiddling mess, I'm gonna let this sit first. There's a lot of, I can tell that there's a lot of color here. There's a lot of color here. Actually, that's not green. That was the blue. I can actually mess with it. It's up here that I don't want to mess any. I don't want to mess with any color up here because I've already got those colors still waiting to soak in. So I'm gonna just wait. I am gonna kind of open up the yarn a little bit, let it penetrate in a little bit, so you can get some color variation from the inside to the outside. Try not to transfer too much color while I'm doing this, but it should be good. Over here, I'm okay with a little bit of a mix, and I'm not gonna put that salmon in. I was thinking about it, but I'm worried it's gonna turn brown, and it's not a game I want to play on this one. I really have an idea in mind, and even though I am testing stuff out, I don't feel strongly enough to want to do that. So we're just gonna do this. And we'll put some more up here too, just a little bit. Just while we're waiting on things to soak, we're just gonna let that soak too. I'm gonna avoid the top edge, make sure that there's yarn here so it doesn't try to go across. I'm okay with it coming down the edge there. Same thing here, make sure there's a little bit of yarn here to kind of stop it from wanting to flow. So one thing that I learned the first little bit with her is that if you put some on this edge, anywhere where it goes, that dye goes pretty quickly around. So if I'm doing it this way, which is why she a lot of times does it a long way across, you get less of that as an issue because you're kind of all in that section. But right here could be like a no man's land where they both mix, and I want to be very, very careful about that. Oh, you're okay for a second. You were just out, buddy. So we're just gonna let that sit, let that soak and seep up, and we're gonna see what happens with it. It looks really good. I also have to be careful to not get in my head too much because I'm like, ooh, I want to fiddle, I want to fiddle. One of the reasons why I shouldn't fiddle is because look at the color of the dye in the water. So the water is red, so it's looking more red here. It's not necessarily what the color of the yarn is. If I actually pull some of this yarn up, it's kind of more of the color I was looking for. When I push it down, it kind of looks more reddish. I think it's gonna be fine once it soaks in. So I'm just gonna fiddle. Wait, and then we'll flip here in a minute once this soaks in. Did the color goddess want to check in on what's going on in here? What kind of mess I'm making?
What?
Does the color goddess want to check in on the mess I'm making, or?
Call me goddess all day long. Excuse me, Papa. Let's go see what Daddy's doing.
You can see too, even on the gloves, it's very purple still down here. So that's gonna take a little time to soak in. Purple does, purple and black.
You wanna go see what Daddy's doing? Let's see what he's doing. Let's see if the whole kitchen is blue.
No, I'm good. I'm wearing gloves too. You can't touch these gloves though. These are my gloves.
Can't touch.
These are in the pan, right here, up top.
Oh, I was like, why are the glasses in the pan?
You gotta soak them, right? Before they are useful?
Mm-hmm. I'm putting glasses on. And I'm not even dying, but I've learned my lesson.
I've got this on super low heat too, guys, so I got no popping right now.
I promised.
I might have to increase it here in a minute, but right now I just wanted to.
I promised I would be good, and I am being good. And trust me, don't twist my arm.
So I really liked this.
Are you using your hands to work it in the yarn?
A little bit.
I like doing that when it's cool.
Yeah, it's not very hot right now, and with the gloves, it makes it very, very doable.
Yeah.
I have been using the spoon more than anything.
So loud.
This is my teacher voice, okay?
I know, you guys. We call him Professor. When he tries to teach anything, when he talks on something that he knows about, he goes up like 10 decibels, and we call that Professor.
Very, very light with this on this one too. So.
It's pretty. I think. No, I can see it. It's good.
This is like a wine color. I really liked it. I thought that one turned out pretty good.
It's probably burgundy. It went on one.
Is this one?
Oh, it's the red from before.
Yep, onto the blue, and it turned into a wine.
Yeah.
I think it looks cool. I think there's a lot of cool tones in here.
It's pretty. You did good, bye.
A lot of these sections. I'll have to see how, like when I move the hanks and flip the hanks, how it actually stripes and how which one's on like which. I can kind of move a little bit and see which one's on which hank here. Maybe. I'm not as good at this as Thryss is.
Patrick, you are great. Patrick is trying to convince me that you did not give him lunch.
You ate, buddy.
No, other time.
We're not going anywhere.
Yeah,
You're going to sit with me and we're going to watch Finding Kitties and Puppies. You don't want to? You don't want to.
You want to watch Daddy?
You
no,
watch
come on,
Daddy?
come on, there we go.
Come on, it's time to go. Not right now, buddy. All right, look at that. That is about where I want the water to be. I can start thinking about flipping. Like, again, purple takes a while to get out. I'm going to increase the heat a little bit. I could have done less acid in this one too. A little less vinegar, because that might have helped out a little bit too. But we will... I think I'm okay with that spreading a little bit. I'm going to pick this up real quick. We're going to see where we're at. I'm a fiddler, guys. Come on. There we go. That's kind of what we're looking at so far. And this hank, kind of like it. I'm gonna flip it over. We're gonna see what kind of penetration we got with it. I'm gonna open it back up. And that was pretty good. Like, it went pretty deep in there. Like, it's sock weight, so I didn't know how it was gonna be. There's lots of little threads, you know, because you know, all of you guys know I learned the secrets from looking at tags with Thryss, is that, you know, weight and yardage. You know, if it's a sock weight and it's the same weight as far as physical weight, 100 grams of yarn, you're gonna have a lot more yarn. There's a lot more threads in here. There's a lot more strands. So having it go through all those strands, I was worried. But it seems to be doing pretty good. It went through very, very quickly. Maybe because there's less, it can kind of get through. Where the thicker ones, it kind of gets stuck at more. Look how heavy. That was the corner down here. No, that was actually the top corner. I flipped over this way. This was this top. It was this top corner. Oh yeah, this was burgundy, this was green. So you can see that the green, I had that open space here and here. It helped it get further down in that section. Plus this one was a little bit wider than this one was. So this one right here is going to have like probably a little bit more tones of white in the middle because it was tighter, where if you loosen it up, you will get a lot more deep saturation, which I like. I think that having, especially if this, you know, being a set, or if someone wanted this as a set for both of them, which most of the time you guys do, having a little bit of color variation, one a little bit darker than lighter, can actually bring out like a really cool tone to a project. So very, very happy with that. So I have this lighter section here, lighter section here. I'm gonna go ahead and blue it up first, and we're gonna see what we're working with and see where I want to be at after this. So we're just gonna go pretty heavy-handed here. I was okay on the other one. Just a little bit to this purple too. We might just get the colors I'm looking for just by doing this. Because like I said, we got some good penetration on a lot of those colors, so. And then, we'll let this all come back up to the surface a little bit. And then we'll throw a little bit of that gray in a couple of these sections that are a little bit lighter. Just help darken it up a little bit. Just see what we're working at after we do this. Again, blue and gray are okay to travel around in here. I'm not too worried. I might not want the gray because gray is just a light black. I don't want to necessarily straight. I can probably straight hit a couple areas here. I'm okay if this gets like a little bit of a black chunk, a little bit of a darker. I might play around with that. A little bit of a darker chunk in a couple places on each skein. Just kind of see how that works. You know, it's just gonna be like a saturated section right up here. Some of this might spin out too. Might not take as well, but yeah, we'll see. The spoon helps evenly distribute it, where if you do it direct, you can get more of a striping pattern or more of a deeper something. So I'm just playing around with those concepts. Alright, I'm gonna let this sit for a second, because as of right now, I'm kind of happy with what I'm seeing. I might be almost done. See how that looks on camera. Do a little light off, light on real quick. Light off, let the camera adjust. Get out of the shadow of the natural light. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And then back on. Definitely liking what we got going on here. I don't know if I'm gonna. I really don't know if I'm gonna do much. I'm really happy with these. If anything, I want a little bit more purple. So we're gonna play with that purple real quick. I almost grabbed the wrong color. Invasive thoughts are winning, guys. I'm going to use a little bit of that salmon. We're just gonna see. I can't not, guys. A little section. It's kind of red. It's kind of orange. We're gonna see. I might get a little bit of a brownie color there, but I'm gonna get a lot of that blue in here too. We're gonna just spread it in here. We're just gonna see what happens. I think we're gonna end up getting something cool. If we don't, then if you don't like it, you know, we'll know for the future. And actually, that is crazy. I did not expect it to do what it did. I don't know if you guys can see it yet coming in, but that orange, it is kind of orange, but it's actually kind of keeping it green. It's like the orange is kind of like a red and a yellow mix, but it's like you're getting more of the blue and the yellow, and the red's kind of just not as strong. So I'm getting actually a more of a green under here. So when that takes, I'm actually think I'm gonna get more of a green with the two, which is absolutely fine. We'll see how it actually soaks in. It is very orange on top, but I can tell, like looking into it, it doesn't look quite that way. I'm gonna do my cheap blue over here. Kind of get that nice look right here. I'm gonna even bring that cheap blue all the way up to the purple a little bit. And I'll put some red in here as well. Up top. And the real red this time. We're just gonna have a little bit of a difference between the two, but that's okay. We're gonna see how this looks, guys. Like again, we're just playing around, we're having fun. You know, hand dyed is always a little bit different, always a little bit unique, and really beautiful, honestly. Thryss does an amazing job. It's kind of cool how they can all turn out and stuff, and how, like, when you just have fun with it and embrace the uniqueness, it's kind of cool. I really like this. I really like this. This is really nice. This is going to be really nice. I can already tell, like, it's very, very interesting right there. I really expected it to be a different color. I might actually come over this with a little bit of red. I'll have to really dig deep and think on that one. But I do like it. You know what? I'm going to come over with the gray. Because I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this. Just a little bit of gray on top. I'm just going to darken it up a little bit. And I think I'm okay with it. With where it's going right now. Because we had that blue in there early and it kind of got a chance to soak. It's really just getting, it was kind of like a brown, but and a little bit of a green. There's like a little bit of a brown with a lot of green. So it's going to have this kind of like But with the blue saturated in there first, it's still gonna have that blue pop out a little bit. So I think it's gonna be really nice. And we're just gonna let this sit for a little bit. And see, I'm gonna actually turn up the heat a little bit too to let it take a little bit hotter, a little bit faster. Because I have a feeling this one's gonna take a little while, especially since I keep fiddling with it. I'm gonna open it up so we can get deep in there. Up here, this is actually pretty much good. I'm gonna put a little gray here too, just because there's a section up here that didn't get it. And a little bit of gray right here. And just darken up the colors that I already have, already existing down here. Just kind of want that purple to be the purple right there. That vibrant purple. I'm happy with that. Alright, now I'm gonna let that sit. Alright, hello everyone, I'm back. I've got this pretty much done. I'm going to let this, I'm turning off the heat all the way now. And I'm about to spin it and show you guys what it's gonna look like. Let me get a bin, it's gonna be hot, so I'm gonna be careful. So we're gonna do this. And, hello. This. Some tongs. Get a tie. We're gonna go down. Okay, now we're gonna get some of this water out. Okay. Get a little bit of that water out. I'm gonna do the same on this one. It was definitely a learning curve learning the sock weight too, because it is kind of a different animal altogether. Oops. Let's try that again because I dropped part of it when I did the flip around. Get that back down. Okay. Alright, I'll be right back. I'm going to spin that out and we're going to see what it looks like. Alright. Made it a little bit harder on Thryss by accidentally pressing pause, but okay. Or stop, but there we go. Let's look at some of these. I'll do one at a time here real quick. So, open it up a little bit so we can kind of see some of that variegation in there. There's a couple lighter spots in there that I might have to touch up a little bit later. But I'm kind of happy with it. There's that one. And this is going to be the one that I experiment with that coral. So you're going to have that darker green section there. Very, very light. Very, very awesome on that. There's that darker green right there. That emeraldy, what it kind of turned out to be. I kind of like it. Not too bad, not too shabby if I say so myself. Alright, you guys. Love ya. See you later.